Alrighty, we're just about ready to get this final game underway between the Witches of East Vic and Westside Roller Derby. For those that might be only have just joined us the previous game, what an absolute nail-biter. Ballarat taking out the win, 128 over VRDL KCR, 126. As both jammers now, well, kind of on the jam start line. Nice to meet you, just taking a bit of a stroll, getting the concentration on. And of course 109, that's Club at Sandwich on the jammer start line for Westside. Westside! So this is the final game for this weekend. Of course, it was a double header, rounds 5 and 6. We have one more round to go later on next month before we hit the finals to wrap up the 2022 season of statewide Stampede. The referee's just having a bit of a chat in the middle there, so hopefully we're not too far away. I'm getting a start. I think we've got a good opportunity to go through both teams. We're going to start off with the black team, Westside Roller Derby, Westside Glory. It is number 0, Maddie Longlegs, 007, Faye Delicious. I'm pretty sure is not skating with us this weekend. 101, the Real Slim Sadie. 102, Smackaron. Number 103, June. 104, Rage. 109, Club Sandwich. 162, Florence the Machine. 17, Liz Vegas. 212, Intensive Claire Unit. 33 Slasher, 44 Townsend, and we're just going to hold it there for a second as we get this one underway. So it is Club Sandwich jamming for Westside, trying to find some room on the outside. Early stages of this jam, it's not going to happen. Nice to meet you, jamming for East Vic. Again, also looking for some room on the outside part of the main straightaway, not going to happen. So just the one blocker to get through. Nicely done, Club Sandwich, lead jammer. And not to be outdone, Knives to meet you, gets on through the pack as well. As the pack now just comes into turn number 2 before it is called off. So that team list again for Westside Roller Derby. Number 44, Reverend Townsend. 460, Murderface. 531, Smiling Assassin, pretty sure is also not here today. Number 74, Chuka. Number 89, Massacre Jones. So it is 333 Slasher jamming for Westside. Jamming for East Vic 351. That's push up Ra. Lead jammer going the way of East Vic. pack coming through turns 1 and 2. Pardon me. Slasher getting through the pack. Nicely done, picking up 4 points for Westside. Nicely done to the inside part of turn 2, Slasher. It's another 4 points. The Westside defense going very hard on the East Vic jammer there. Of course, that's push up Ra trying to find some room to the inside and the outside parts of the track. Not going to happen, but and forced to call it off. Not before Slasher put on 16 points in for Westside. The Witches of East Vic are 0-1, Bubblegum Blitz 0-9, Nat O'Nine Tails number 1-3, Knives to Meet You 1-4-4, Butcherbird number 2, Evie 2-3, Nicholas Rage 2-7, Achilles Wheel 3-5-1, Push Up Ra. And we'll get back to the rest of the East Vic roster after this jam. Number 4 then, jamming for East Vic, it is Strawberry Short Skate. And jamming for Westside, it is number 102, Smackaron. Nicely done by Strawberry Short Skate, getting on through for East Vic, picking up lead jammer. The pack now trying to negotiate its way out of turn number 2. Nicely done, a little bit of a hop over the inside part of turn 2 by Smackaron. So the pack now coming into turn number 3. Nice bit of defense there by 8-9 Massacre Jones, taking Strawberry Short Skate out to the outside part of turn 3. Murderface trying to do the same thing on the outside part of turn number 4. Now with a bit of speed, the pack coming into turn at number 1. Strawberry Shortcake. Nicely done to the inside part of turn 2 on that previous pass, and it's 4 more points. Again, as a pack coming down the back straight. This jam has run its full course, full 2 minutes, done and dusted. Very nice 8 points then for the Witches of East Vic. They move along to 12 with Westside Roller Derby on 19. And just finishing up the East Vic roster, 3-5-1 Push Up Ra, number 4 Strawberry Shortcake, 5-5 Cupcake Fairy, number 7 Jack Spite, 7-1 Pushy Tat, 7-3 Jane Saw. As we get jam at number 4 underway. Club Slammage, the jammer for Westside. Cupcake Fairy, the jammer for the Witches of East Vic. There's the pack now coming through turns 3 and 4. Straight away, Cupcake Fairy met solidly by Chuka, the blocker there for Westside. pack now stuck on turn at number 1 as the Westside defence again go to work on Cupcake Fairy, trying to hold that skater up for as long as possible. And Club Slam, which has seen enough and called it off. Not before putting 12 points on the board. Moving Westside along to 31. Just 4 points then for the Witches of East Vic. They move along to 16. So 3-3-3, Slasher jamming for Westside. The recycle then by 0-9, Nat 09 Tails taking Slasher deep back into turn number 4. And now the East Vic blockers go to work on holding Slasher up for as long as possible. Also, recycle then from 8-9, Massacre Jones taking the East Vic jammer back, and there's a penalty assessed on that. That's Knives to meet you. Nicely done then by Slasher coming off the back straightaway. Lead jammer, Westside. Now the pack comes down the back straight, heading into turn number 3. Number 1-3, Knives to meet you, then rejoins on track. And we're going to take a short break here while we have the medical team. Okay, so we're back underway with Cupcake Fairy jamming for the Witches of East Vic. Smackaron jamming for West Side. Wasting no time getting on through. Cupcake Fairy, lead jammer, East Vic. Packer skaters in at the far end of the track down on turns 1 and 2. The West Side blockers go to work then on trying to hold up Cupcake Fairy for as long as possible. The recycle, though, for Smackaron way back into turn number 1. So at the back of the pack, Smackaron got a bit of work to do. Cupcake Fairy, though, nicely done to the inside part of turn 2. It's 4 more points for East Vic. And the star pass then successfully completed for Murderface, to recognise jammer for West Side. Nicely done then by Murderface. Once the star was on the helmet, it was all about trying to get points. 3 points, in fact, for West Side, moving them along to 39. Witches of East Vic picking up 8. They currently sit on 27. 109 Club Sandwich jamming for West Side. Number 4, Strawberry Short Skate jamming for East Vic. Club Sandwich, though, nicely done. Gets on through. Lead jammer, West Side. Not to be outdone, Strawberry Short Skate getting through the pack nice and quick as well. So we've got another official timeout, as indicated there by the jam timer. So we're going to have a little bit of music. Three, 5, 1 push-up Ra, the jammer for East Vic. Up against 3-3-3 Slasher jamming for West Side. And at the front of the pack, it is Slasher to negotiate just the 3 blockers. And the lead jammer is there. Successfully getting on through, lead jammer Slasher for West Side. The initial pass in for Slasher, all done and dusted. We now can get points. Push up Ra for East Vic, got a bit of work to do. The West Side blockers making life very difficult as the pack slowly comes through into turn number 2. Penalty box is cleared out, which means we have a full complement of blockers on track. So just the 4 points in for West Side, moving them along to 45. The Witches of East Vic remain on 27. As we get this one underway, Smackaron, the jammer for West Side. Up against Strawberry Short Skate The jammer for the Witches of East Vic. Nicely done to the inside part of turn number 1. It is smacker on lead jammer. So neither team adding to the scoreboard on that previous jam. Better late than never for skater 109, of course. That's club at Slamwich, jamming for Westside. 5-5. It is Cupcake Fairy jamming for the Witches of East Vic. And again, we have consecutive jams rather, where neither team have added any points. Three slasher jamming for Westside. Number 4, Strawberry short skate jamming for East Vic. Getting on through, picking up lead jammer. It is Strawberry short skate. Slasher getting through the pack as well. The Westside defense then coming down the back straightaway here into turn number 3. Have locked in nice and tight on Strawberry short skate. And the Westside defense giving absolutely nothing for Strawberry Shortcake in which to work with. And Strawberry Shortcake has seen enough and gone, nah, I'm not playing this no more. So the Witches of East Vic, just the 3 points, moves them along to 30. Westside pick up the 2 points there on 47. So 5-5 then, Cupcake Fairy, the jammer for the Witches of East Vic. 102, Smackaron jamming for West Side. Both jammers have got plenty of work to do as the two teams defensively lock on down. But finding a gap nicely to the inside of turn number 1, lead jammer, Cupcake Fairy and East Vic. The pack now coming on through off of turn number 3. Smackaron was just taken to the inside part of turn 4. Good enough to be recycled behind the East Vic blockers and not get a cut track. At the back of the pack, 5-5 Cupcake Fairy. So nicely done by Cupcake Fairy with the 4 points on that previous pass, coming by virtue of some territory that was available to the outside part of the track. The star pass then successfully done for Westside. Murderface is now the recognised jammer for Westside. and immediately hits the pack really hard. And also picking up the 4 points. Very handy 12 points then for the Witches of East Vic. Moving them along to 42. West Side on 55. We have our first team timeout. So we get this one back underway. 109 Club Slamwich, a jammer for Westside. Number 4, jamming for the Witches of East Vic. It is Strawberry Short Skate. Nicely done then by Club Slamwich. Coming off of turn number 2, using the inside line. Nicely lead jammer Westside. Oh, nice little toe-stop, turnaround, pivoty thing then from Club Slamwich. It's worth 4 points. Nice defensive work there from number 0. That's Maddie Longlegs. So it's 4 more points in for Club Slamwich. So back now comes through turns 1 and 2. So just the one blocker there for Club Slamwich, not a problem, gets on through. It's another 4 points. And Strawberry Short Skate now coming down the back straight away, and again met solidly by number 0, that's Maddie Longlegs. Some fantastic blocking work done here by Westside. Nice jam there for Club Slamwich. A very nice 20 points. Westside just starting to stretch the lead a little bit. They're currently on 79 with the Witches of East Vic on 46. We're going to have another official timeout and some more music. So the officials are done with their official timeout. So we have 3-3 Slasher, 1-3 Knives to meet you. Good to see Knives back out on track. Straight away, Knives to meet you, trying to open up some sort of a gap on this west side defense. And nicely done, Knives to meet you to the outside part of the front straightaway. Lead jammer, Witches of East Vic. Slasher then. Just the one blocker to get past. Unfortunately for Slasher, 09 Nat 09 Tails, not the easiest blocker to get past. But eventually Nat had to yield and let Slasher on through. Nicely done then from Slasher, just a nice little turnaround, backwards skating effort there on the back straightaway. As the pack now coming into turn number 3. This one comes to an end. Westside Roller Derby currently on 79, Witches of East Vic on 49. So we get this one underway. We have 5-5 Cupcake Ferry jamming for the Witches of East Vic. And for the first time in this game, 4-4 Reverend Townsend having a jam for West Side. Oh, nicely done by Rev there, just a little bit of a juke on the back straightaway. Gets through nicely, 4 points West Side. And Cupcake Ferry. Unfortunately for Matty Longlegs, it's a low block, so a trip to the penalty box. Reverend Townsend slicing through the pack there for Westside. It's another 4 points. Not to be outdone, Cupcake Ferry also for the Witches of East Vic, picking up 4 points on that previous pass. Now the pack's got a bit of speed about it coming into turn number 3. Westside looking to get up front and hold or control this jam, I should say. And Chuka has done just that, just trying to hold up Cupcake Ferry, and does so only just for a brief moment. Oh, the referee, one of the referees on the outside there, Beck, has gone down after being hit by one of the skaters. So we're going to find ourselves under an official timeout. So we get this one back underway. 109 Club Sandwich, a jammer for West Side. Number 13 Knives to meet you, jammer for East Vic. And nice and quickly getting on through the pack. Knives is the lead jammer. Now the pack's going to get a bit of speed about it. Coming into turn number 3, Knives just trying to find a way through. Inside, outside, not going to work, but going back to the middle of the track, Will. So the 4 points there for Knives to meet you, and East Vic moves them along to 65. Just the 1 point for Westside, they're on 96. Three Slasher jamming for Westside. Up against 5-5 Cupcake Ferry jamming for the Witches of East Vic. Nicely done by Cupcake Ferry, getting on through, picking up lead jammer. Westside blockers again doing a strong job coming into turn number 3, holding up Cupcake Ferry. The defensive work there from Matty Longlegs, nicely done. Well, the chase down there by Rev and Townsend on Cupcake Ferry. Rev takes a bit of a fall, but quick to get back up. Number 2, Evie taking a tumble there to the inside part of turn number 4. So the Witches of East Vic just cruising along nicely. They remain, well, they go to 71 after picking up 6 points in that previous jam. Westside on 99. It's very, very quiet in here, so I should... So we get this one underway. 109 Club Sandwich, 1-3 Knives to meet you, the 2 jammers. Lead jammer going the way of Westside. Not to be outdone, Knives to meet you. Gets on through, but Club Sandwich says, nah, I'm not going to play this game. Calls it off, neither jammer adding to the scoreboard. A 3-5-1 push-up raft, the jammer for East Vic. 102 smacker on the jammer for Westside. Unfortunately for smacker on, it is a penalty to be served. Turning this into a power jam for East Vic. And a push-up Ra. As the pack now comes off of turn 2. The Westside blockers again giving the East Vic jammers plenty to think about. Nice defensive work there by number 8-9. That's Massacre Jones for Westside. Revan Townsend also wants to join in on the party, doing some nice work. Defensively taking out push-up right to the almost to the outside of turn number 4. Smacker on then release out of the penalty box, back out on track. And immediately being greeted by the East Vic blockers. The recycle on Smackaron was almost back to the midpoint of the main straightaway, coming into turn number 1. Smackaron having some difficult time trying to get through a very solid East Vic defence. Same could be said for up the front of the pack, the Westside defence really making life difficult for the Jammer to get on through. As this one is in the books, all done and dusted. Actually, at our halftime break in this game on 71, 2 points in 101. So we're going to take a 14-minute break. Underway. Brady, welcome back after that short break there. We're just about set to get the second half action underway between the Witches of East Vic and Westside Roller Derby in this final game. Doubleheader round. Westside putting out 3-3-3. Slasher as the jammer and wasting no time getting on through, picking up lead jammer. Number 4 then for the Witches of East Vic. Strawberry short skate. So just the 2 points there for Westside. Of course, this is the final game of the weekend, wrapping up rounds 5 and 6 of the statewide stampede. (5-5) Cupcake Fairy then jamming for the Witches of East Vic. Nicely done, getting on through lead jammer. Of course, we have Smacker on the jammer then for Westside 1-0-2. And now the pack getting a bit of speed about it. Westside looking to try and get up front and control the pack speed. Nice call off then for Cupcake Fairy, just picking up the 4 points. Moves the Witches of East Vic along to 75. Westside Roller Derby on a 103. (109) Columbus Slamwich, the jammer for Westside. 1-3 Knives to meet you, the jammer for East Vic. Finding the smallest of gap to the inside part of the main straightaway. Columbus Slamwich gets on through nicely. Lead jammer Westside. And before Knives could add to the scoreboard, Columbus Slamwich calling it off. So we have 5-5 Cupcake Fairy again jamming for the Witches of East Vic. Number 3 Slasher jamming for Westside. And getting on through, picking up lead jammer again, number 5 Cupcake Fairy. Slasher with a little bit of work to do, but nicely done, getting on through the pack off of turn number 4. Trying to get on through nicely. It was Cupcake Fairy. Took a dart to the outside part of turn 4, but then a gap opened up on the inside part of turn 4 leading into the main straightaway, and that's where Cupcake Fairy ended up. Very nicely done, and 4 points. So the Witches of East Vic on 79. Westside remain on 103. (1-3) Nice to meet you. 102 Smacker on the 2 jammers out on a track. And again, nice to meet you. Working to the inside part of the main straightaway. Westside Bluckers having none of it. Meanwhile, at the front of the pack, Smacker on trying to and getting through. Lead jammer, Westside. As the pack now comes down the back straightaway. Plenty of skaters making a visit to the penalty box. Instruction coming from the west side bench to hit it and quit it, get the 4 points and call it off. Cupcake Ferry, it is then for East Vic. Club at Sandwich, it is then for West Side, the two jammers on track. Nicely done, Club Sandwich, lead jammer. An easy pathway through the inside part of turns 1 and 2 on that previous pass for Club Sandwich. Nice bit of defensive work there for Matty Longley, taking Cupcake Ferry to the inside part of the back straightaway. Club Sandwich then just the two blockers to negotiate. Nicely done to the inside part of turn 4. And a couple of skaters take a bit of a hit to the inside part of turn 3. One of those skaters was Murderface. Quick to get back up on track. Nicely done by Club Sandwich. Nicely done there from Cupcake Ferry. So 4 points in for East Vic, moving them along to 83. 12 points though for West Side. Has them on 119. Three, slasher, then jam if West Side wastes no time getting through. Lead jammer. Strawberry short skate. It is then jamming for the Witches of East Vic with plenty of work to do in turn number 1. The West Side blockers giving absolutely nothing. Nice bit of footwork coming off of turn 2 there. Slasher very happy with that effort. And why not? It's another 4 points in for West Side. And again, Slasher to the inside part of turn 2 that time. Up on the toe stops, goes for a little bit of a run. It's 4 more points to be added for West Side as now the skaters get a bit of... Oh, nicely done. Slasher just turns around and says basically, look at me, look how good I can be when I get going. It's 4 more points, total of 16 for that particular jam. Westside now just again starting to stretch that lead, 135 playing 83. Smacker on jamming for Westside, unfortunately got through the pack but not before picking up a forearms penalty, so it is going to be a penalty to be sat. So 5-5 Cupcake Ferry then for East Vic. It's going to be a power jam for East Vic. A couple of skaters take a bit of a tumble down on the back straightaway. Both the jammer and the pivot for East Vic involved in that. Unfortunately then for Cupcake Ferry, it is a trip to the penalty box on a cut track. And whilst all that was happening, Smackaron released back out onto the track for West Side. Unfortunately then for the East Vic skaters, out of play, which means they have to yield. Smackaron gets on through. Pack then stopped at the midpoint between turns 3 and 4. West Side blockers just sitting back there. Just keeping Pack. The recycle on Cupcake Ferry, taking Cupcake back to turn number 4. Now the Pack comes through into turn number 1. Still a power jam then for Cupcake Ferry and the Witches of East Vic. Oh, well done there for Cupcake Ferry to absorb that hit from Matty Longlegs. We have another official timeout. So 1-3 Knives to meet you, the lone jammer on track. Power jam start for the Witches of East Vic. Smackaron also being released back on track. The jammer for West Side. As the Pack now comes through turns 1 and 2. Nicely done. Smackaron using the inside part of turn 3 gets on through. I should say 4 more points. With a bit of work to do though, coming into turn 3, it is Knives to meet you for East Vic. The West Side blockers in the form of Massacre Jones, Murderface, Intensive Claire unit giving Knives to meet you plenty to think about. Smackaron seen enough and calls it off. Big shout out to all the refs and NSOs this weekend. Thank you so much for giving up your time. It's always appreciated. 2 jammers on track then. We have 5-5 Cupcake Ferry jamming for the Witches of East Vic. Club Slamwich 109 jamming for West Side. And lead jammer. Big shout out also to the folks at home watching the action online. I trust you're enjoying not only this game but all the games throughout over the course of the weekend. 3-3-3 Slasher jamming for West Side. 1-3 Knives to meet you jamming for the Witches of East Vic. Lead jammer going the way of West Side. Slasher met solidly by the East Vic blockers pretty much on the midway point of the main straightaway. Nicely done then by Slasher, just the smallest of gaps gets on through. And it's another 4 points to be added to the West Side total. Oh, a bit of backward skating here, a bit of a turn. Big smile there for Slasher. Very, very happy with what's going on. So the star pass then successfully completed for the Witches of East Vic. 0-9, Nat 09 Tails was the recognised jammer, not before Slasher seen that and called it off. Looks like we're under a team timeout, so we're going to take a short break and let the music take over, I think. Mr. Beard? So that rolling whistle brings about the end of the timeout. Jam Thomas says, let's go. Indeed we do. 4-4, Revan Townsend, the jammer for West Side. 5-5, Cupcake Ferry, the jammer for East Vic. And just like that, Revan Townsend gets on through, lead jammer, West Side. Rev just trying to find a gap through the seam on the East Vic block. Is not going to happen. Moving nicely to the inside and getting on through. 4 points, Rev and Townsend. Nicely done. Big hit there on Cupcake Ferry. I think it was 0 Matty Longlegs taking Cupcake Ferry to the inside part of the track off of turn 1 to recycle back to the midpoint of the main straightaway. So that's a huge recycle. And Cupcake Ferry again has to go back and do it all again. Meanwhile, Revan Townsend just slices on through. It's another 4 points. Jack Spite just making a visit off track here in turn 3. Says hello to the commentary team. Thank you very much for that. Gives us all a smile as well. Meanwhile, the action back on track up front. 4-4, Revan Townsend. Got a little bit of work to do, but does nicely to the outside part of turn number 4. Gets on through, and it's another 4 points for West Side. This is turning into be some sort of jam for Rev. 5-5 Cupcake Ferry again having plenty to think about, trying to get a way through this West Side defence, and it's just not going to work this time. And a very, very nice 20-point jam there by Revan Townsend. It stretches out the West Side lead. They are on 178, Witches of East Vic on 83. So we have Nice to Meet You, Club at Slamwich, the two jammers out on track. And immediately, Nice to Meet You is greeted by the West Side defence, which is relentless. Club Slamwich, lead jammer. Nice to Meet You does find a way through off of turn number 2, gets through the pack. And Club Slamwich met nicely by Nat O'Ninetails and thought, nah, that's enough, I'll call this off. So we have 351 push-up bra jamming for the Witches of East Vic, 333 slasher jamming for West Side. Push-up bra looking for some space to the inside part of turn number 1. Not going to quite work out this time. The West Side blockers were more than aware of what was going on. And whilst all that was going on, Slasher gets on through, picks up lead jammer then for West Side. So it is 4-4, Revan Townsend jamming for West Side. 1-3, Knives to Meet You jamming for East Vic. And nicely done by Rev getting through lead jammer West Side. There's now the pack coming through turn number 2. Oh, a couple of skaters go down on the exit of turn 2. And that's not going to phase Rev too much. Gets on through 4 more points. The West Side blockers trying to get up front and see if they can't slow this pack down. They're getting on through and calling it off just like that. Rev and Townsend. Adding another 8 points to West Side roller derby. They move on to 190. The Witches of East Vic on 83. As we get jam number 16 underway. 5-5 Cupcake Ferry jamming for East Vic out on track. Club Slamwich 109 jamming for Westside out on track and lead jammer. Blocker advantage going the way of Westside. Nicely done, Cupcake Ferry used the inside of turn 4 to get on through the pack. As the pack now comes down the front straight, heading into turn at number 1. Club Slamwich adding another 4 points to Westside. Cupcake Fairy being recycled back, but not before this one's called off. We are under an official timeout. So we're back underway after that short break. 1-3 it is then. Knives to meet you, the jammer for East Vic. 3-3-3 Slasher, the jammer for Westside. Both jammers trying to find a way through the pack, see if they can't pick up lead jammer. Knives to meet you though, done it better. Gets on through lead jammer, East Vic. As the pack now gets a bit of speed about it, and East Vic were trying to eat into this, 112-point deficit. 2 of those points come off. They move along now to 88. Westside on 198. So 5-5 Cupcake Ferry jamming for East Vic. Revan Townsend, 44, the jammer for Westside, gets on through, lead jammer. Yeah, nice little hit it and quit it there for Rev. Just adding the 4 points to Westside, and with that 4 points, it takes Westside over the 200 mark, 202. Playing 88. We've got just under 5 minutes remaining in this game to wrap up a big weekend, double-header weekend of roller derby. 109 Club at Slamwich, 1-3 Knives to meet you. Other 2 jammers out on track. And Club Slamwich yet again getting on through, lead jammer. Club Slamwich calls that one off before Knives could do anything in terms of putting extra points on the scoreboard for East Vic. So the 2 jammers out on track, 3-3-3. Slasher for Westside, 5-5 Cupcake Ferry for the Witches of East Vic. And as so often has happened in this game, straight off the bat, the Westside blockers look to lock down on Cupcake Ferry. Nicely done though by Slasher, picking up lead jammer again for Westside. Slasher just happy to get some points and call it off. We have yet another official timeout. Nice quick timeout, that's what we like to see. The 2 jammers on track, we have 1-3 Knives to meet you for East Vic, 4-4 Revan Townsend for Westside. And with some nice speedy footwork, I should say, Revan Townsend gets on through, lead jammer Westside. Not to be outdone, Knives to meet you gets on through nicely to the outside of turn 2. Knives to meet you picks up 4 points. Pat now stationary off of turn number 2. Knives to meet you sees a gap on the inside part of turn 2 in order to take 4 points. And of course those 4 points were taken. Oh, Revan Townsend takes a bit of a spill right in front of us here. Gets up with a smile. So Cupcake Fairy jamming for East Vic. Club Sandwich jamming for Westside. Club Sandwich in some familiar territory. That being getting through the pack nice and quick and picking up lead jammer for Westside. Now the pack gets some speed coming into turn number 3. Witches of East Vic trying to stop Westside from getting out front and controlling the pack. Club Sandwich and just the 2 blockers at the back of, not quite at the back, oh, both skaters there, number 2, Evie and Club Sandwich taking a bit of a tumble there on the main straightaway, which has now turned this into a power jam for East Vic and Cupcake Fairy. So a good opportunity then for Cupcake Fairy and East Vic to grab some points while it still is in the power jam. Well, I should say the power jam is still in play. There's the pack now slowly coming off of turn 2 in the back straightaway. Maddie Longlegs taking Cupcake Fairy to the outside part of the main back straightaway, I should say. Club Sandwich nicely done. Found the seam, worked through nicely and picked up 4 points. And this one comes to an end. So the referees are just going to double check and make sure everything, all points have been recorded. Make sure I's are dotted, T's are crossed and all that sort of thing. So both teams still in their huddles. Some folks are very keen to get home. So that rolling whistle does then bring about officially the end of this game between the Witches of East Vic and Westside Roller Derby. Westside taking the win 219 to 104. As the fans that have still hung around are going to go trackside and offer up a high five. Just like that. Maybe not quite like that. More so like that. So that's where we're going to leave things for this weekend of Roller Derby. A big shout out and a big thank you to all the folks online at home. We trust that you've enjoyed this doubleheader round of Roller Derby for statewide Stampede as the skaters are now making their way around the track. My name's JR. It's been great to have your company both here in the stadium and at home. Take care, and we'll see you next time when we go Roller Derby.